So yeah, that was a good mission. That certainly could have gone worse, considering the numbers we were up against, and especially some of the vehicles that we were up against. That definitely could have gone worse. So I'm glad things worked out. And of course, Darius is complaining about experience, and then Yang's gonna complain about damage even though we didn't get any damage. Oh, maybe not. I stand corrected. Did you? Erst, are you serious? Did you actually go antiquing? Is that a thing people still do? Alright, well, apparently it is. But yeah, let's head over to the barracks. If Darius is complaining about our people needing to spend experience, then who am I to deny him? So here's Bolo. Now you finally got enough experience for that next level, so let's see what we got. We got Master Tactician, which is pretty good. Sensor Sweep is also really good. Bombardier is really only for aircraft. Boost to support weapon, short and medium range brackets. So really it's either Master Tactician or it's going to be Sensor Sweep. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Sensor Sweep. That's a really good ability. Yeah, we'll go with Sensor Sweep. I like it.
Mech Warrior training complete.
Commander?
And then we got Brick, who is not ready for that next level of tactics yet. Carrick, we could wait for the last level of tactics. I think that's the way to go, because she's doing artillery.
Orders?
Game Master is ready for his next level of guts, so we'll go ahead and do that.
I'm here.
General Quarters, not ready for the next level yet. Gravelion is finally ready for their next level of gunnery. Outstanding.
Receiving you.
I am also ready for either level 10 gunnery or level 10 guts. I think we go with level 10 gunnery. Yeah. Stone cold.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I forgot to confirm. My bad. Try it again.
Mech Warrior training complete.
And then let's see. Ozark, not quite ready for the next level of tactics. Quagmire's not ready. Rex is, though. So we could save up. We're almost to that next level of gunnery. I think we wait for it.
I'm ready.
We got Erst, who's not ready yet. And none of our passive people have got anything. So hopefully that'll get Darius off our back for just a little bit. And yeah, nothing to worry about in the mech bay. Everything's all repaired up. So we've now got 3.25 million. And we can probably sell a few parts here. From some of the less important mechs that we got salvage from. So you get the Firestarter Omni, we get the Rifleman parts. I think I'll hang on to these Chaparral parts. And actually, we didn't get anything else, so what about components? Yeah, honestly, I don't think there's really anything that I want to sell from what we got. I think we did good. At least we could sell the, we can't sell from this menu. Poop. Yeah, Bamboos, that seems pretty cheesy. That's the kind of cheese that leaves you constipated. But, I mean, I could see it as an effective strategy. Just put some battle armor in one of these things and say, screw it. Go nuts. PPCs, Gauss rifles, whatever. Just rain fire. It's not a whole lot of damage, but it adds up. God damn it. Sorry about that, chat. Unfortunately, I have a neighbor here in my apartment complex that has it's actually a very nice, old school charger, but I don't know if he, like, took a hacksaw to the muffler or something, but it's, like, insanely loud. So, and also he loves to just throw on the throttle as soon as he starts it. Plus, like, whenever he's leaving the apartment complex, he just, like, wah! And just full blast on the accelerator. So, I didn't want you guys to have to hear all that. But let's see. Thunderbolt 20s. I don't know. Are T-bolts even worth it? Like, don't get me wrong. I like T-bolts. And they're very... They do a lot of damage and everything. But the problem I have with T-bolts is that I very rarely use... Unless I'm doing it in a dedicated platform, like a catapult or a longbow or an archer, I don't typically use missiles as my main damage dealers. I usually use them as support weapons for some other weapon system. I mean, don't get me wrong, Graveline. Like, I understand wanting to rev the engine and let her breathe a little bit. That's fine. But, like, this dude, every morning, every night, every day, it's really fucking annoying. Like, I have to get up at 6 o'clock every morning, whether I want to or not, because that's when this douchebag goes to work every day. And he parks right underneath my window, so I'm always woke up at 6 o'clock, whether I want to be or not. T-Bolt 10, T-Bolt 20. I mean, I'm not against the idea of going with a T-Bolt. The only problem is they've only got ammo for the 5. So, do we have any? Do we have any additional Thunderbolt ammo that we may have picked up along the way? Nah, we just have 5s. So even though a 10 or a 20 would be nice, it doesn't look like we even have ammo for it. And I don't know where I would fit it in our lance composition, if I'm being honest. So what I used to do, because I've had neighbors like this before, and I'm a little older now, and so I don't go crawling up under cars like I used to when I was young. But what I used to do is take out my little 22 and I would, like, shoot some varmint. Possum, squirrel, whatever. And then I would go and duct tape the body to the person's muffler. And just let it ride. And man, that would make a stink like you would not believe. Burnt hair and rodent meat, and it just sticks with you all the time, forever, man. Mara, I like acid SRMs. The reason that I like them, and now that I actually use them, is it deals more damage to armor, and it also, again, as you can see, targets take 20% more damage for 2 turns. So, like, if you throw the acid on somebody, then you can put out a lot of extra damage. So yeah, acid is very good, not only for damage itself, but as a support weapon, to, like, increase the damage that the rest of your lance is putting out. Oh yeah, anything like that. Like, when I was living in other parts of town, I would sometimes just use roadkill. Like, I didn't like to go out and intentionally kill an animal just for that. But, like, if somebody ran over a squirrel in the street, yeah, I would use that. Didn't bother me at all. But yeah, looking at the store. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking, chat. I don't necessarily want to go somewhere else. I kind of want to stay in Solaris. The problem is, we've bought up all the contracts that we can actually do, and we've done all the missions that we can do. So we would have to go somewhere else to do more missions. Now, what we could do is just wait it out. Financial reports in 22 days. Give everybody some time off. But yeah, I was gonna say, we could go somewhere else just until payday, and then come back once the shop and the missions have regenerated. Or, again, we could just sit here and wait 22 days, and then everything will roll over. Because it rolls over when you do the financial report. So we could just sit here for 22 days, do nothing, let you guys take a vacation, and then we'll see where the chips lie. Or we could go to another system and continue the adventure. Yeah, that's fair. It'll probably take 22 days to get somewhere else. Let's see. If we wanted to go just one system over, how long would it take us to do that? 16 days, yeah. So by the time we get there and back, well, we could make it here. 11 days and back. $39 days, 14 days. New Kyoto, it's a factory world. Okay. Here's an idea, chat. We got 22 days until the next thing, right? So what we do is we head to New Kyoto. It's a 5-skull planet, so we're not going to be doing any missions there. But we head there, check out the shop, see what they have for sale, and then once we, buy something if we like it, whatever, then turn around and come back. By then, 22 days will have gone by, and we'll have actually spent that time working on something. What do you think? Either that, or we could just go somewhere else and do missions. I just like hanging around Solaris because they got good stuff in the shop. The only reason I'm saying New Kyoto is, again, because it's a factory world, it's got a black market, it's a former Star League presence, it's inner sphere level civilization, large population, manufacturing. Like, this is the holy grail in terms of the shop. If we were ever going to find good stuff in a shop, it'll be in a place like this. Alright, missions it is. So we're somewhere that we can get relatively quickly. We can get to Rochelle and in 11 days. We can get here. We gotta find something that's in our bracket. Actually, you know what? Rochelle is 3 skulls, but I think we might be able to actually start doing some 3-skull missions now. I mean, we've got a good lance. Especially with the new Rommels that we're fielding, like, we're putting out a lot more damage. Our pilots are very experienced, so we're actually able to hit the shots. So yeah, I think we'll go to Rochelle. We'll try a 3-skull planet and see how we're doing. It'll take us 11 days, 45k to get there. And it's a manufacturing planet, so we could still, potentially, end up finding some good stuff in the shop. Oh no, it turns out the local pirate organization isn't happy with us, chat. Who would have guessed? I wonder what we could have possibly done to have made the local pirate organization so angry with us. Also, something I want to point out for anybody that's not as familiar with BattleTech as a setting, because I had actually... this came up recently with somebody that I know. Oh. Well, speaking of the black market, here's the invitation to the black market. Unfortunately, I was just sitting there laughing about how, oh, haha, the pirates aren't happy with us. Unfortunately, that means we'd have to pay $2.5 million to get access to the black market. So, unfortunately, I think that window is now closed to us. But, so what we were talking about, and I'll explain here when we actually get stopped. So, I wanted to talk about scale. Because again, for those of you that are not familiar with BattleTech and its scale, and don't understand exactly what the Argo is and why it is significant, understand that this, the Leopard, the drop ship that we use to get to and from combat, is often the only ship that a mercenary company has access to. This ship is big enough to be a base unto itself. If you played MechWarrior 5, Your entire operation, your entire mercenary company is run out of one of these ships. And this ship has the ability to dock 2 of these things. This ship is effectively a huge-ass mobile space station. So this Leopard can fit between 5 and 6 mechs in it, plus all of the support personnel, plus all of the other crap. Like, again, many, many, many mercenary companies are based out of this ship. So, and again, this is just kind of a tidbit, but it's one of those things I like to point out is, like, a lot of people don't understand exactly the scale of the Argo and what it represents. Like, it really is just a mobile space station. That's true. They do kind of play around with the numbers a little bit, Walla, but I think that's for the sake of the gameplay. You know, typically the Leopard is designed to drop 4 mechs on the battlefield and have some parts and things like that to replace and repair them. But yeah, it's one of those things I like to point out is, like, a lot of people don't appreciate how big the Argo is. And it always seemed a little weird to me because I don't know how, like, the support personnel in the Argo are. I don't know how many people are actually on this ship because they never say. But you only ever have, like, 10, 12, maybe 20 pilots in a really long campaign. And so it's like, do you really need all this space for 20 people? But anyway, that's just... but anyway, we arrived at this place. Let's have a look at the store. See what we've got. See if there's anything interesting. It doesn't look like it. Usually, the same usual battle armor and vehicle nonsense that we always see, but we'll check out the weapon systems. Maybe we'll get lucky. Every once in a while, you find something cool. Let's see. Light Pharaoh wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Supercharger, targeting computer, upper arm block. What is that? Oh, chargers do less self-damage. That's interesting. Well, I think that's about it. Not a whole lot going on in this shop, which isn't surprising. An MML5 maybe wouldn't be a bad thing. We could always use more MMLs. Regular old Gauss rifle probably wouldn't be terrible either. Large X-Pulse. Let's see, what is the deal with X-Pulse? Fire a barrage of laser beams, alright. +2 accuracy, 1 evasion pip ignored by this weapon. Okay, 25% chance to deal a critical hit. So it seems pretty good. It's a little expensive, but I struggle to think of where we would actually put it. Laser AMS. Yeah, I've been thinking about picking one of those up. It may not be a bad idea to just grab it while we're here. We may not use it right away, but it'll be good to have one when we do get to the point where we need it. I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot. Again, it's a little expensive, but we can try to find a place for it. So let's see. What's the range bracket on this? Up to 600 meters. All right, that's not bad, and it doesn't have a minimum range. All right, chat. We'll buy it. So then the question is, where do we put it? Because the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head where we would really be able to use it right away would be maybe the Griffin? Replace the PPC with the X-Pulse? Because that's my main thing, is like, I don't... An X-Pulse sounds good, but at the same time, I don't really know where we would use it. So it's running the same tonnage as an ERPPC. The ERPPC does 6 damage. But of course, it's a PPC. We could go with the X-Pulse. If we're firing multiple shots, then we have a chance to get a hit, even if we miss with the first shot. We also get the extra accuracy, and we ignore evasion pips, which we do not get with the PPC. So this could potentially make our shots a lot more accurate. Yeah, that's true. It definitely generates a lot less heat than the ERPPC. You know, you know what? I'm with it. It will not take us long to swap it out, so I will go ahead and do it. It's only going to cost us $3,500. We will give it a shot. We will give it a shot and see how it does, and if it ends up sucking, we can always swap it back out. I'm not too picky in that regard. So we will need to fast forward a couple of days to let that happen.
Job's done, Commander.
And then let's have a look at the command center and see what we can do. So let's see, we got a defend base. I don't really want to do a defend base because those end up taking a long time. Kind of blackout, that could be anything. Battle in the jungle. Corporate secrets, recovery. We know recoveries tend to be pretty simple. We could get a lot of salvage off of that. Who are we up against? Just mercenaries? Yeah, just some random mercenary company, so we could be up against anything. Bug hunt. Again, we're up against Marian hegemony. Alright, well, they're kind of, again, a little bit out of the way. Alright, what do you guys think about recovery? There's a lot of salvage at play here. It's pretty low, so we could probably knock it out pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm hoping because it's a mercenary company, we may actually run into something good. And by taking the maximum salvage, if we get a full salvage mech, we actually give ourselves the ability to fully salvage the thing. So, let's do it. Let's do it. And I think we'll go with the same lance comp we've been using. Bigfoot, though, is finally able to rejoin us on the battlefield. Let's see. Oh no, that's right. We don't have any mechs with handholds anymore. I forgot about that. We removed them from the Centurion because of tonnage limits, and we are not currently fielding the Disco Inferno, so we don't actually have anywhere for the battle armor to go. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we could put the Dakota in. Swap out one of the Rommels for the Dakota. And do that. But honestly, I mean, if I have my choice between battle armor and a Rommel, I think I'm going to take the Rommel. Like, battle armor is fun, but it's not a core part of our strategy, unfortunately. So I think we just leave them by the wayside. And Erst, I would love to feel you, my friend. Unfortunately, the issue that we keep running into is we need the heavier guns on the field, and a light mech is a very niche thing right now. Don't worry, you have your place as our gladiators, so when we go back to Solaris, you're gonna have plenty to do. Any solo contracts in the lightweight class, we know the Disco Inferno can handle it. We know the fights in the arena, again, you can definitely handle that. I also thought, I don't know, maybe we'll upgrade the battle armor as well at some point. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot. Speaking of pilots and such. Before we actually get started with this mission, bag it up, go to the barracks. I told Sierra I was going to do this right before you left, and I haven't done it yet. So we need to rename somebody for Sierra. I think the only mech pilot that we've got left to rename is Ozark?
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Guess we could rename Brick.
Standing by.
I think we'll rename Brick, because Brick is past due for an upgrade. We want to get Brick out of the Treb and into something new. So I think the next person that gets a mech upgrade is probably going to be Brick. Sound. We'll rename Brick to Sierra. And Typhoon, if you want to be in the game, unfortunately, you don't have the shiny Founders badge, so you will have to pay your 5,000 dopamine hits in order to get your name in the game. But once you have saved up, we can make that happen. Alright. Now we'll go into the command center and take care of this recovery mission. Hey, cross your fingers, chat. Hopefully we'll get some good salvage out of this. I'm hoping for, if not another heavy, I would love to get my hands on an assault. That would be chef's kiss if we could get our hands on our first assault mech. Or another heavy to add to it. That would be good. Battlemaster, I would take a Battlemaster. Absolutely. Alright, here we go. I would take a Battlemaster. I would take, I would take a Zeus. I would take a Charger. A Charger's not my favorite, but I could definitely make it work. Like, at this point, any heavy mechs, I think, will go a long way to helping us improve the company as we go. But we'll have to see. Again, it's a mercenary company, so we can be up against anything. We could be up against absolutely anything. Like I said, we might even see our first assault mech outside of the Santa Claus mission. You never know. Stranger things have happened. Unfortunately, BattleTech seems to be hanging up. There we go. There we go. Alright. What is... Oh, Darius of the loading screen, what is your wisdom? I think I've lost track of how many layers of betrayal this represents. It's a quadruple cross? This must be some scientist. Yeah, again, I would take Stone Rhino, Gunslinger. I mean, obviously, give me an awesome, and we're done. But yeah, I don't know. What I hope we don't run into is, hey, here's a swarm of light and medium mechs. Like, I don't want that. As long as it's not that, I think I'll be all right.
Command interface initiated.
So another mission where we're mostly surrounded by water. Which could be good and could be bad. We do not have any enemy contact currently, which could be good and could be bad. Just like the mission. As usual, with recovery missions, I tend to just kill everything and then accomplish the objective. Because ultimately we're here for salvage more than we're here for money. And I think that's what we're going to do here as well. Again, the game has blessed us with a decent ridgeline that's overlooking the majority of the map. So the enemy could come from this direction and probably will come from this direction. But we have some decent high ground that we can use to our advantage. So we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into.
Roger.
Can we just jump over this to get a little more mobility? No? So we're gonna have to sprint? Well, that's unfortunate.
Confirmed.
Sierra is now our trebuchet. I'm gonna have to get used to that, by the way. Yeah, the Rommels are gonna suffer a little bit for this one. But at the same time, if we can get them up high, they'll be able to do good work with those Gauss cannons. I'm gonna have to remember that Sierra is brick, and when I see Sierra, I'm seeing trebuchet. I gotta remind myself.
Coordinates received.
So again, no sensor contact, which is a little concerning. Let's see about getting general quarters up on the hill here with their Gauss. And we're not seeing anything, so that could be a good thing, but it could also be a very, very bad thing. The Rommels, I think we'll just try to get them to the highest ground we can and let them do their thing.
Rolling.
Ballista self-propelled. I mean, we can basically just leave the ballista wherever, it doesn't matter. Let's see. And let's roll up here.
Location confirmed.
Still no contact. Is this going to be one of those where the enemies aren't going to appear until we actually get to the objective? Because, I mean, our sensors are reaching out pretty far, so unless they're on this little arm, I mean, they could be. I definitely don't want to have to move our people that far, though. That's going to be a pain in the ass.
Copy that. I'm there.
I kind of want to keep general quarters on the high ground, but I'm also getting the impression that the engagement is going to be over here. So I think we're going to have to reposition no matter what we do.
Coordinates received.
Yep.
Let's see. Move this one up here. Again, the Rommels will have some good cover. Oh, shit. Sorry, I missed the water. General quarters. Cheers. And we are hydrating. Audio bug? What's the audio bug on jungle maps? I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
Move order received.
Where the hell are these jokers? Oh, I thought that was battle armor related. Okay, there we go. We finally made contact, and as expected, they're up in this direction. So now that we've made contact, they should start coming at us. The smart money says we could take this high ground and let them come to us, depending on what we're up against. We'll have to see. I don't know. Have to evaluate the tactical situation. Someday, don't worry, Bolo. We're gonna use the nuke eventually. And I already promised you guys, if we don't find a time and a place to use it before Christmas, my Christmas present to you guys will be going back to Kringle's Killers and showing him the Davy Crockett.
Moving to position.
Now, we'll move the fat man up here. And let's see. I think we just do what we can to charge across. Again, things are a little rough right now. We're kind of spread out all over the place and really just now making contact with the enemy, so we'll do what we can. But we gotta be very careful about our positioning, especially with the tanks.
Confirmed.
So I think we'll go ahead and leave the other Rommel here. And then again, the self-propelled gun should be able to hit most everything from here once we actually get line of sight, so we can wait that out. And now we are finally at the point where we're in the turn-based mode proper.
Copy that, Commander.
So move up, and we do outstanding. We're able to get a sensor lock on this guy. So let's see what we're up against. It's a 65-tonner. And we are looking at a Jägermeister. Alright. With a decent mix of autocannons and some lasers. Wouldn't be my first tick. We'll have to see what else they brought to the field. I'm not super enthused about a Jägermeister, to be perfectly honest with you.
All weapons are go.
But you know what? The Arrow 4 doesn't discriminate.
Standing by.
So with the trib, let's go ahead and use the water to our advantage. And of course, chat, you know what time it is. Full alpha, all day, day.
Let's see how you like this.
Not as much damage as I would have liked.
My flamer is empty.
Okay, there's mech number 2. That's a 60-tonner. We'll have to see what it is.
To go.
But of course, well, that'll give us visual confirmation, so I'll take it. And what do we get? Oh, we got a few more mechs. A quick draw. Okay. Again, not great. Not great. Could make a decent brawler though, if we build it right. But for right now, we'll focus on the Jägermeister. Is that a clan quick draw? No, I think that's just the variant. It's not an Omni.
Here it comes.
But we'll give him the plasma, as you do. I gotta say, I didn't really like the concept of plasma weapons, but they are really starting to grow on me, because we've been doing some serious damage with these plasma rifles. Another Centurion. So far, not terribly impressed with the mech selection this go around.
Standing by.
I'll move up. Again, we'll just take a single shot with the Gus. Don't want to blow our wad just yet. Yeah, I think this plasma rifle baby back has been the best heresy we've put together since the Disco Inferno. I don't like the fact that we're all running down into the low ground, into this water. It makes me nervous.
This is everything I got.
Alright, so far, the large X-Pulse is doing alright. We got some decent hits on that one. And then we got Carrick, which we already know. Indirect fire should be perfectly fine from where we're at, so we'll fling some sniper artillery. And apparently, we're going to have to strip every single square inch of armor off of this Jägermech before it goes down. And a Crusader. Okay. Now you got my attention. Now, what fit of Crusader are we looking at? Okay, alright. I see you. We could put in some work with that.
What's up, boss?
So unless we see something better, that might be our #1 salvage target. Can we? Yeah, we can actually see the Jägermech from here, so I will go ahead and take the shot with the Gauss rifle. And you missed. You missed on an 82.
Missed.
On an 82, you missed.
I'm here.
Game Master, come on, buddy. If anybody's gonna make this shot, it's gonna be you, right? Even at 69. I mean, come on, sex number. Sex number has never failed us before. Come on. Come on, Game Master.
Firing on target.
God damn it, I love Game Master. Anytime you need to make a shot, that is your man. That is your man.
Talk to me.
I mean, to be fair, he had sex number on his side.
Ready to run.
Well, we're not going to be able to do much except fire the tag. But let's do it. And we did mark him with the tag. So once again, I'm amazed that this Jägermech has any armor left at all at this point. But we're going to continue to put the hurt on him. If he's going to keep standing there, we're going to keep shooting at him.
That hit something good.
And there we go. 4 salvageable parts. That's the plus side of stripping off all that armor. We scared the shit out of him and he left a fully intact mech. All he lost was a couple of actuators.
Waiting for orders.
So Bolo, yeah, I think we gotta. I think we go for the quick draw, and even if we spread out a little bit, we should get good splash damage on all 3 targets.
Gotcha.
Oh, there we go. Splash damage on all 3. Yeah, unfortunately, guaranteed Jägermech is kind of an underwhelming series of words. I mean, I'll take it if I have to, but I'd rather something else. We could definitely make a Jägermech work. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is the worst thing ever. But I would certainly prefer something else. I'm not gonna run into the target zone,
On my way.
because I don't want to trigger any potential reinforcements just yet. Instead, we will focus down the Crusader next. And again, right away, stripping that armor. Yeah, we could do that. We could, worst case scenario, we could build it, strip the weapons off of it, and then either sell the parts or put it in storage. And generally speaking, I don't like to sell any complete mechs, because you never know when you might need them if we end up in some kind of, like, death spiral or something. Like, that's why I only sold one of the Whitworths, in spite of how much I have complained about them since the very beginning of the campaign. I still keep one in a cargo hold, just in case. And yeah, we could always commit some kind of heresy with the Jägermech. Yeah, absolutely, Ravar. At the end of the day, it's still a heavy mech. We can still do interesting things with it. So again, if that's all we get stuck with, it's not the end of the world. It's not ideal, it's not exactly what we want, but we can still make it work. I think the Crusaders gotta go. Out of all 3 of these targets that are remaining, I think the Crusaders probably still the biggest threat. If we get lucky, we can get this Crusader pilot to eject as well, but I think we got lucky with the Jägermech. But I feel like there's gonna be more out there, is the thing. Like, for this to only be 4 mechs, that seems a little odd. They really don't like the Saturday Night Fever for whatever reason. Like, I've got the friggin' baby back right in their face, and they're just like, nope, shoot the grasshopper.
Commander?
Alright, General Quarters, let's see if we can get you a little bit of elevation so you can do some work with this gauze.
Roger, Skipper. Taking it.
At only 75%, I think we'll just take the single shot.
Copy that, Commander.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Too much risk that we don't hit. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Bamboozle. Although, in my experience, if we take long enough, eventually the other lance will just show up anyway. And that's kind of what I'm working towards, is my thinking is we will continue to hit them for now, see how much of these guys we can take out, and then if they drop the second lance on us, we'll at least have put some work in already on these other guys.
I'm listening.
Let's see. What do we do? I think we stay in the water. Again, I don't like being in the open like this, but
Firing everything.
we're gonna have to take them off the high ground. I'm gonna try and get the baby back up behind them and actually do some damage. Try and see if we can flush them out, but for right now we're just gonna have to be in the basin. Yeah, that's exactly why I did not like the idea of that Crusader being up there.
Commander.
Alright, Quagmire. Give me a decent shot, please. You got a 77% chance to hit. Work with me.
Engaging target.
Okay, there we go.
Ready for orders.
The same with Game Master. I'm not worried about his ability to hit the target, no matter what the accuracy is.
Engaging target.
Because our man always gets his shot. Always hits his target. Yeah, Braden, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting him to either drop right here in the water or somewhere a little farther off to the right, like in this area. We will see. I mean, we know there's going to be another lance. There's no way that we finish this mission without getting additional reinforcements dropped on us.
Confirmed.
Unfortunately, we're not close enough to hit anything with anything except for the tag. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. So we can hit the Centurion. We don't have very good odds, but fuck it, they're pulse lasers.
Firing.
It ain't much damage, but I'll take it. Again, Graveline, I'm not sure what I want to do with you, because you're still running mortars. I think we just keep you on the defilade for now. Keep you in the water. Well, you don't even need water, because you're running mortars. So heat is not an issue for you. Let's see. We'll hit him with the guided. Hopefully get a few more hits. There we go. LRM-10 destroyed. That's nice. We're removing some of that damage. Yeah, that's my hope, Kairos. I'm hoping that if we strip enough armor off of this thing, we can get him to punch out of nervousness. That would be great. Well, I would love more support options like that, where it's like, hey, we have a giant ship. Why can't we use it?
Targeting for an alpha strike.
And again, significant whiff on that, Bolo. What... Are you drinking behind the controls today? What's going on? Well, they may have changed it, Braden, because I've got the Trib in the water, and we've been firing full alpha with this thing and have basically 0 heat buildup. And we don't have any heat sinks in the legs on the Trib.
Confirmed.
Again, we'll give them the full alpha. Oh no, no. We don't want to blow it up. We don't want to turn it into Swiss cheese. It's Capellan water. Right, that's what it is. Okay, message received.
My insides are getting beat up. Receiving you.
The message that I received was, please, Daddy, come punch me in the face. And I will oblige.
I copy.
Locked on for
Well,
physical
technically
attack.
I'm punching him in the back, but might as well be the same thing.
Waiting for orders.
Again, general quarters.
Rolling.
I think we take the shot here.
Take this.
I feel like no matter what I do, I'm not gonna be able to salvage this Crusader like I want.
Commander.
Alright, Ozark, we're gonna have you back off. Because you are taking way too many hits, my friend. I need to, like, there we go. We need to face
Moving.
the left armor away. I guess we could take a shot on the Centurion. Maybe we'll get lucky and take that arm off. If we do, that's going to take the LBX with it.
Confirmed.
Outstanding. You love to see it. That's exactly what I wanted.
Oh, now. Yes, you are.
So yeah, that Centurion is now a significantly lessened threat. Now let's see if Carrick is gonna get some magic engine crit again. I mean, it's not an engine crit, but it's pretty damn close. My friend, are you really gonna stay in that mech? Really? Like, you're panicking and you have no weapon systems. Are you really gonna stay in that thing?
Yes, Commander.
You're a braver man than I am. Well, I'm also missing some of the required equipment, but you get the idea.
I copy.
I mean, I guess we gotta take the shot.
Locking on target.
Leg him. There goes the leg. You wanna punch out now?
Solid connection on that one.
Still done? This man. Yeah, clearly he believes in these SRMs, because, my god, he's just refuses to give in. He says nope. He's sticking it out. I mean, is it even worth wasting the shot on him? Because we're probably going to hit the torso and blow his ass up, is the problem.
Hit 'em hard now.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So
Eliminated.
that's one salvageable part. So much for that.
How can I help?
Alright, well, now we can finally get in close
Roger that.
where the Saturday Night Fever excels, and you better fucking believe we are going to be giving the Centurion the full alpha. So, here we go.
Roger that.
Fire everything.
That was a critical hit, lad.
Okay. Now it's on.
Yup.
Alright, unfortunately, this puts our people in very close proximity, so we'll have to be careful, but I'll shoot at the quick draw instead with some guided ammo. And hopefully the friendly fire will be at a minimum. Looks like we got decent hits.
Standing by.
Unfortunately, Bolo, you are going to have to sit this one out, my friend. Because our people are way too close. So instead what we will do is, I guess, just lock up the quick draw to get rid of that one pip of evasion that it still has.
On.
Or did I do that just in time for it to move and get more evasion? Yep, that's exactly what happened. I used the sensor lock just in time for him to get some more evasion. Oh wow,
I'm wounded.
they actually hit the head. That's
Aye, aye.
that's impressive. But if you're gonna shoot, you better be ready for the return volley, my friend. I'm sorry? Oh, god damn it. Another jam. Really? Really? I don't... Is Sierra actually bleeding? I'll have to double check when we come back around. Yeah, we need to back this Trev up. I'm doing dumb shit again, and I'm not even, like, I'm getting overzealous.
Standing by.
Ian Dungeon has warned us about this, and I keep doing it. I think we give him the business right up the tailpipe. Give him the kick, plus the double plasma. This is true. For any of you that don't know, if you're curious, Stu is intimately familiar with the effects of bleeding out. I still feel bad about that, by the way, Stu. Let's see. Are you bleeding? Severe burns. But that's not a bleed out. So it looks like they're okay. It does not look like they're bleeding out currently. And if they do start to bleed out, I'll just have to eject them.
Commander?
Alright, let's see what that gauze do. Do we waste the shot on a Centurion? I mean, I guess it's not technically wasting the shot because that LRM-10 is still doing damage. We could. Stone Cold is going to... Yeah, it doesn't improve our accuracy, so we'll use Precise Strike instead. We'll do this. I'm just gonna core the damn thing because I don't care. And let's do 3 shots. We're gonna give him a full volley. Here we go, chat.
This should be good.
There you go. He's having a bad time.
Target down.
But you love to see it. Only 2 salvageable parts, but if we do get those parts, we already have like 3 Centurion parts currently in storage. So if we get even 1 more Centurion part, we will be able to rebuild 1. Again, unfortunately, Griffin, you are gonna have to take a step back. And we will take some shots at this quick draw.
Firing at him. Receiving you.
And then again, Carrick not gonna be able to do much.
Roger.
Artillery is not gonna be super useful when our people are this close.
Standing by.
Quagmire, though, you might be able to put in some work. If we sprint you around here, you're still not gonna have a shot. You're not gonna have a shot there. Wow, we had to move pretty far. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a try. Let's move over here.
Let's move.
Again, it's gonna be a long shot, but we'll take it anyway.
Target.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Thankfully, the Rommels have plenty of ammo, so we can afford to miss some shots.
Yes, Commander.
So we'll just take the shot here.
Interest you in some melting armor.
Unfortunately, that's 2 misses in a row, even from our mans. And is extremely disappointing. But thankfully, Rex is in a perfect position to give him the full alpha in the back. So I would say this quick draw is not long for this world, chat. You know what time it is.
I'm moving. To hell with the weapons.
First the hit, and then the alpha. And there you go.
That's 1 less hostile on the field.
You can call that dude confetti, because that's all that's left of him. Alright. So now we just secure the designated area, wait for the reinforcements, and then finish up. We suspect they're going to be coming from the right, so probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and position ourselves with that assumption in mind.
Affirmative.
consciousness threshold. Okay, so Sierra is not bleeding out, but is having some consciousness issues. That's okay.
Move order confirmed.
I think we'll just keep the Holy Fat Man where it's at. No sense in moving just yet.
Roger.
Not until we know where the enemy is. I think let's do this in case they do come in on the right side of the map. The Griffin, again, will run here into this defilade, and then that way we've got some cover. And let's reposition here as well.
On it.
The asset has been secured and is ready for retrieval.
Oh. Okay. Well, no reinforcements, apparently. Interesting. I mean, that was a much shorter and simpler mission than I thought it was going to be then. Not that I'm complaining. I'll definitely take short and sweet. And again, not much in the way of payouts since we weren't doing it for the money. And even though we had some punch-throughs on the armor, Sierra's only out for 14 days, so that's not a disaster. And now it's time to make the decision about what we want to salvage. So unfortunately, we lost the Crusader, basically. There's only one part that we can actually salvage. I know that we have the Centurion. So we could potentially grab 2 Centurion parts and be able to salvage what we have here. We could also go for the Jägermech. Instead of focusing... Yeah, I mean... I was saying I don't know how I feel about the Jägermech, but at the same time, I mean, we can full salvage this thing. Worst case scenario, we can strip it. I think taking the heavy mech is the smart money. There's an XL up for grabs, but we should get an XL from the Jägermech, so yeah. Yeah, heavy's a heavy. We'll go with it. And we got the XL engine anyway, so that works too. I'm not complaining. So yeah, there we go. Brand new mech. And I was just talking about potentially replacing the Treb, so maybe the Jägermech will be a good replacement. Although, you can't really turn a Jaeger, well, this particular variant of the Jägermech into a missile boat. And Sierra is specialized for missiles, so we may have to keep them in the Treb for a little bit longer. But we'll see. Let's see what we can do with it. So we got the financial report in 9 days. Let's head to the mech bay, see what kind of repairs we gotta do. So we did have a punch through, so we'll just go ahead and repair. That's only gonna take 1 day, not a big deal. Bounty? There you go. And then we'll head into the storage. Look at that. We got the full thing. Let's go ahead and rebuild that puppy. And then let's see what we got. So again, we got the Ultra AC5s and the AC2s. We could definitely do new things with that. I mean, you can clearly see there's basically no armor on this thing. Oh no. Karos, you said quad medium rifles. I'll do you one better. Quad medium cannons. How about that? Now that's a one-time deal. They will only be able to fire those once. But let's see what kind of ballistics we do have. We got AC2s, so we could go with like a stock standard configuration for the Jägermech and just put a bunch of AC2s in it and let it fire pea shooters across the map. We could do Ultra AC5s. Just leave the ones that we have in there because we don't have any more to add to it. I don't think we want to focus too much on lasers. Like, lasers are good if you run out of ammo, but if you do well with your ammo management, it's not an issue. Maybe. So we do the Ultra AC5s, right? We'll get rid of the AC2s, because the AC2s weigh 6 tons a pop. Medium rifle only weighs 5 tons, and a medium rifle is basically equivalent to an AC5. Let's see, if we drop the AC ammo for the 2s, get those out of here. What do we got in the way of lasers? What kind of energy weapons can we put in here? Could do ER mediums. So if we max out the armor, god damn, this thing takes 8.5 tons of armor to max out in addition to what we already had. That is insane. And that's with Pharaoh. With Pharaoh to max this thing out. So obviously the ammo goes in the feet, because that's where ammo goes. I'm gonna put the case in the feet as well. Oh, we can't add case to the feet. Okay, never mind. I take it back. If we remove the XL engine, that's gonna put it over weight. If we remove the Pharaoh, that's not gonna put it over weight. We're only saving... what, 1.5 tons with the Pharaoh? So we could potentially remove the Pharaoh, but I don't see a whole lot of reason. So if we say ER mediums, right? Get rid of the pulse lasers. Put in ER mediums instead. It still leaves us a lot of tonnage to play with, but I don't think we have a whole lot in the way of additional equipment. Like, it would be good to put, like, an ECM or something like that in here, but we don't really have what we need to do that. We do have one autocannon FCS. So we have one cannon loader, and that's another thing that I was thinking. So we could just add more ammo and let this thing DACA. Let's see, what else? What else could we do? Yeah, we don't really have... I mean... the Jägermech being what it is... we could absolutely take the revolver gas out of the Centurion, put it back with an LBX-10 like we had it, and then put the revolving gas or the rotary gas on this thing instead. Since it's going to be a long-range support, and that would give us another close-range brawler. So, okay, before we get too deep down the rabbit hole of mech bay heresy with this Jägermech, let's answer a very important question, and that question is, currently, we can only field 7 mechs. So the question is, out of the current crop of mechs that we have, which mech do we replace with the Jägermech? Because I'm leaning towards the Panther. Out of all the mechs that we currently have, the Panther is the lightest and doesn't really have a purpose currently. Like, the mortars are useful, but we kind of just did it to increase our firepower. So if that's the case, then we want to keep it long range, but rather than indirect fire, it would probably be direct fire. Yeah, we could do that. We could rework the Panther into a support mech for the Disco Inferno. No reason to get rid of it for sure. It's just a matter of what we do with it. So again, I'm kind of partial to refitting the Centurion back to the way we had it, putting the LBX back into it, turning it into a brawler. Then we'll replace the Panther. We can take the gauze out of the Centurion, put it in the Jaeger, because when we look, the pilot for the Jaeger is going to be Graveline, who has most of their points in tactics, but we are building up gunnery. So because of that, we're going to have good on the called shots, but the problem that we're going to run into is we're not going to have that ballistic mastery. So the Graveline is not really the best pilot for a Gauss boat, but we could retrain him for 500k as well. And that is something that I said I was going to do. Well, King Crab is definitely a good mech to capture, especially if you're running a bunch of mediums and a couple of lights. The King Crab would be a huge boon, Arst. Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. I think we leverage the +1 accuracy that the Jaeger has by default. And we go with the Gauze. Oh, don't worry, General Quarters. You may be losing a Gauze, but you're going to be getting an LBX-10, so you're going to be getting a boomstick. And we'll be putting you nice and close, so you'll get plenty of chances to use it. Do that? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's check the store and see if we got a Gauss FCS. I doubt it. But if they do... let's see. Minimum range FCS, that'd be cool. Targeting computer, laser, PPC, plasma FCS, that'd be good. I mean, we're currently using plasma. Ooh. Rifle revolver is not bad, and it's pretty cheap. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. I also kind of want to buy these 2 plasma FCSs, because we are currently running the baby back with plasma rifles. And these are a little bit expensive, but at the same time... So what do we actually get with the FCS? We get more accuracy, and we ignore evasion. Unfortunately, it's a ton per... So we would have to find a way to fit those into the mech, and I'm getting sidetracked, which... Let's not do that. Let's not get sidetracked. Let's not get sidetracked. So first and foremost, we're going to get rid of the Gauss, which is actually not a bad thing, because again, that will allow us to put the Centurion back where it belongs. Back in the brawler up close and personal category. Remember, the only reason we put the Gauss in the Centurion because it was the only mech heavy enough to mount the rotary Gauss that we bought. By taking on the Jaeger mech, we have effectively solved that problem. Go ahead and stick the lower arm on there. We'll stick that. So where's our LBX-10? Because we know that's what we're going to replace it with. Stick the LBX-10 in there. Give them the big boom. Give me a little bit of ammo. LBX-10. I mean, we could go cluster and slug. How much ammo does this have? This has 10 ammo? So we could go cluster and slug ammo. We could potentially do that too, although we'd have to strip some armor to do it, because we're already running Ferro and Endo Steel. Let's see what we can do with it, because I believe the reason that we didn't put an AC-20 in this thing before is because it was just a little too heavy. It limits our options. Because yeah, even there, we're looking at 42 tons, but we have the armor most of the way maxed out. So I'll go ahead and max it out for now. And then, if we wanted ammo, we got 2 tons of it that we can add. And part of the reason, like, I like an AC-20. An AC-20 is super powerful. But the reason I prefer the AC-10 is because the AC-20 has pretty limited range. Yeah, the issue is the ammo, as we're not only going to have to put in the AC-20, but then we also have to basically put in at least 2 tons of ammo for it to be effective. Which is going to limit our ability to fill out either lasers or missiles. So I think, again, the configuration that we had before, where we were running the LBX-10, was actually a really good config. It was extremely effective. Now, we could swap it out. Instead of doing an LBX-10, we could do an an Ultra AC-10. The only problem is it weighs a little more, so we'd have to lose something somewhere. But I think we go LBX-10. We go cluster ammunition. And that's 10 shots, so that's going to give us 10 turns to fire on a single ton of ammunition. We could put in the slug as well, but I rarely find need for it, is the thing. Like, most of our missions are over before we run through 10 rounds of ammunition. Let's see, do we have an autocannon FCS? We do, so we could put an autocannon FCS on this puppy. Increase the accuracy and reduce some... Yeah, I mean, with a shotgun, that's going to be stupid effective. And then I think we look at weapons. What do we got? We got MMLs and we got SRMs. We could do that. I wish we had another rocket launcher, because I would absolutely put a rocket launcher or an MML in this thing rather than... or a MRM. We could do the Thunderbolt 5. Maybe? What do you think? Thunderbolt 5? Hey. The question is going to be the launchers. What do we want to do with the launchers? Because before, we were running an MML-5 and an MML-3 with short and long-range missiles. What we could do instead is just specialize to close range. Let the LBX-10 be our long-range platform, and just keep the missiles for the short-range engagements, because we're gonna be running in close. Let's have a look at the ammo types. What do we have for short-range missiles? Because we got all kinds of stuff. We got acid, we got inferno, we got streaks. We have piercing, but we don't have any piercing launchers. Yeah, LRMs are good. The only reason I don't want to use LRMs is because this Centurion is going to be getting up close. Or at least that's the plan. So let's see, 3 tons versus 2 tons. So if we put in 2 SRM-4s, and then we go into the ammo here, and let's go acid, and what, acid and inferno? Or just acid and regular? That's fair. I mean, that's definitely a fair assessment. And that is the reason that we were using MMLs before. Let's see. Because before we were using the MMLs to give us effectiveness over a variety of range brackets. So we do this. We have the SRM acid ammo. And then we go, I don't know, just regular LRM ammo. Or we do something like dumbfire, or we could even do swarms to get some AoE damage. But like even just regular LRM ammo. I mean, that gives us a good variety. We're maxed out on armor. It gives us 8 missiles that we can fire long or short range. Plus we got the LBX-10, which is going to be our main damage dealer. Yeah, swarms are pretty good. My only concern is that if we use them, we'll have to be careful not to damage our own people because of the AoE. That's my only concern. Hell yeah, Urs. Outstanding. Hopefully you get enough to salvage the whole thing. If not, you should be pretty close. I don't know. I mean, this is basically the same configuration that we were running before for this Centurion. We got the LBX-10 with the cluster ammo for up-close engagements. We got the MML that gives us some long-range firepower, as well as the acid SRMs if we do manage to get in close. And it's not a bad design. It's not spectacular. It's not heresy. It's not the kind of crazy stuff that we're normally doing in this company, but it is a good and effective design. Or at least it has been so far. The only thing that we lose is by adding the autocannon FCS and adding some ammo, we're losing 1 ER medium laser, but that's not a huge loss, in my opinion. So I think we go with this. Actually, let's do this, and we'll get the LRM over here so that we're not having to replace something that's already in the mech. So what do you think? General Quarters, this is going to be your boat. Are you happy with this, or do we want to do something different with it? Yeah, I put the battle armor handholds back on here because without the Disco Inferno, the Centurion is our fastest mech otherwise, and so the Centurion is usually getting in close anyway. And so that's where we put our battle armor when we take it in. General Quarters, if you've got no objections, this is what I'm gonna go with. At least for right now. I mean, we could add another ton of ammo and drop some armor to make up for it. It's not a big deal. I think we do have some more LBX ammo. Again, in my experience, the 10 rounds of cluster has been more than enough, but if you want, we can throw some slug in there. Yeah, no, I did not put any lasers in there. Because, again, they're not super useful. Not in this capacity, anyway. So then, let's reduce some armor here. We'll reduce some little armor here. We just need to bring the armor down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, the sled does provide that typical, like, the standard AC-10 performance if we need it. And it should give us a little more accuracy over range, so I don't object to adding the slug ammo. We'll go in it.
hard.
And then that leaves the little matter of the Jägermeg. Well, specifically, let's before I do this, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put the Panther in storage for right now. And we will move up the Jägermeg in its place. Ah, I see, Mara. Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm good with tight damage, too. But let's have a look at the Jägermeg. I would if we had all LBX2s, but we don't. But besides which, we took the rotary Gauss off because we wanted to add it here. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. Let me see if we ditch the ammo here. And we go and put the regular Gauss ammo in instead. We'll go ahead and use the case system, because that'll protect us. So right away, we've basically subbed out one thing for another, and immediately this design works, as it stands. It's very, very lightly armored, which I don't like. But it's also already using Ferro and an XL engine, so there's not really any more weight savings that we can get out of it. So then the question becomes, in terms of ballistics, as far as I know, the rotary Gauss is not community content. I mean, I'm not running the community content pack, and it's still in the game. No, Ching. This is BTA. Somebody want to hit the command? I'll do it. Ah, okay. Makes more sense. So then, can I put the case with the Gauss rifle to stop it from exploding? I know the answer is no. You don't have to answer that. Alright, so the question is, where do we go from here? Do we consider replacing more of the ACs on the left arm? Because we could do some interesting stuff. Say, instead of an AC2, we swap it out for an Ultra AC2. Do we even have ammo for an Ultra AC2, I wonder? We do not. We only have AC5 and 10 ammo, so that's out of the question. So yeah, the AC2, I say we ditch. We get rid of that. No, I want it out of here. Go away. Yeah, the only thing about the light AC2 is it's basically just an AC2, but it's lighter, right? Like, is there any other benefit to the light AC? Yeah, so it loses some range, it doesn't have a minimum range, and it weighs less. Yeah, for sure. And that's the other thing, is I definitely want to armor this thing up. So we don't necessarily have to go with max armor. But I wouldn't be against it, because the Jaeger can definitely put on a lot of armor for a heavy mag. Like, you can armor it up. Nah, we don't have any clan stuff. I mean, maybe a light AC2 isn't a bad move then. Well, let's see. Before we start any heresy here, let's go have a look at the store one more time and see what we've got in the way of ballistics. So obviously we got, oh, well, there we go. We got another light AC, so we could buy, I'm gonna buy one of those because in the event that we need one, we can definitely do something with it. We got a high velocity 10. We could go with medium rifles. They're a little worse than their AC counterparts, but they're still effective. You are not dead, Bolo. We are currently spitballing what we want to do with the Jaeger mech. Let's see. We could go with some piercing ammo for ACs. I mean, that's always going to be good. Could go with some caseless ammo just to increase our ammo capacity, but we would need that for the AC too. Let's see. It's about all we got in terms of ballistics ammo. So that's something that I considered as well, is potentially using the cannon, and then, I mean, we do have a cannon feed, so we could put one cannon in and then just feed it with the rifle ammo. Yeah, we did get the Jaeger. We didn't get good enough salvage on anything else to actually put anything together, so we just went with the guaranteed heavy. AoE, what is AoE? Oh, it just does area of effect damage. That makes sense. Precision ammo for the AC-5? That's not a bad get. Yeah, the Ultra AC-20 is really good, if you can get one, but they're tough to get. I haven't seen one yet. So let's see. We got a heavy rifle. Heavy rifle is basically an AC-10. We got a medium cannon, which is basically an LBX-10. But we've only got one ammo feeder. Though we do have the rifle revolvers, the only problem is the jam chance is higher on these. Well, obviously we want to put in the rotary gauze. That's the first thing. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get that put in there so that way we know what kind of weight we're working with. The gauze, I mean, we can put it in the torso. It doesn't really matter. We'll ditch the case because we don't need it for gauze ammo. I say we ditch the medium pulse lasers. If we're gonna put lasers in this thing, we'll use something else. We can ditch the AC-2, the Ultra AC-5. I'll ditch the case here too, although we could potentially use it for some other weapon. Could do that too, just to pad it out, yeah. Doesn't really matter where we put the ammo. Only problem is gauze ammo can sometimes be hard to find, and if the rotary gauze blows up, it's gonna take the ammo with it. That's the only reason I don't necessarily want to do that. Let me see. What do we have in the way of ballistics? Because now that we have it, we could go with 2 light AC-2s, which is not going to do much in terms of damage, but it gives us a lot of range. So we're losing the minimum range bracket in case they do get close. We're going 720. And then with the rotary gauze, we're out to about 900 meters. So with this configuration, we are locking this thing into a very long-range bracket. But there's nothing wrong with that. And we could put it in the center torso. I mean, I guess I'll put it there for now, and then if we need to move it elsewhere, we can. But that's the big question, is what to do with the other arm. I wish we had another gauze, so we could just turn this thing into a gauze boat. But we don't have that. But like, again, the light AC-2s, if we go with the ammo types that we have, What do we got for AC2 ammo? I think we just got like regular, plain old AC2 ammo. We don't have anything like precision ammo or any of that stuff. But, I mean, light AC2s, shooting 2 of them, put in 2 bins of ammo with some case. I mean, we're basically firing a lot of DACA at very long range. And as long as the pilot's accurate... We could also focus on the lasers as well. I mean, we could do, instead of AC2s, maybe do AC5s. I just suggest the light AC2s because they are lighter and it allows us to put more guns on the frame. So if we go Ultra AC5, then yeah, we're not going to be able to fit 2 Ultra AC5s. I don't think you can take the anti-air, like, that's just part of the mech, you can't remove it. Again, we could go heavy rifle, give ourselves an AC-10 effectively. That'll give us some decent mid-range, plus it reaches out to 720 meters, so it's almost the same range as this rotary Gauss. Basically just turn this thing into a big gun, or a pair of big guns. If we use the AC-10, it has a little less range. Like the heavy rifle does the same damage, has more recoil. So yeah, again, I'm open to suggestions because we're kind of limited in our options on ballistics. We could put more lasers in it. Because, like, what I'm thinking is we give this thing a variety of brackets, right? We kind of turn it into a jack of all trades. Because we could go with heavy rifle. And we even have the revolvers, so we could up the fire rate. We could go 2 LACs, put in the 2s. That gives us some more sniping potential. And then under the weapons, we can go in here and say, let's give it ER mediums, right? And just go crazy with it. And then we just turn this thing into a really weird kind of all brackets brawler. But that's the thing. If we're gonna hang back with it, then we don't really need to. Yeah, we could do an AMS too, especially if we're gonna use this as a if we're going to use it as a support weapons platform and keep it in the back. Yeah, we did grab 1 laser AMS, the one that they had available. So we could put that in here. Because again, we'll probably have this thing hanging back. So we could do light AC2. There was precision ammo in the shop, wasn't it? Graveline, you were more partial to the Ultra AC5. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Ultra AC5 either. It's a good weapons platform. We can throw the case back in. We can throw the ammo back in. That gives us 15 ammo, so that's... I mean, we could even double up on the ammo, so that way you could just really go crazy with it. Just go shooting like a madman. But again, we're kind of limiting the offensive firepower of the platform. The armor's maxed out. So we could reduce some armor and put something else in it. Because we got 2 tons of ammo for the Gauss, which is more than enough. We got 2 tons of ammo for the Ultra AC5, again, more than enough. We've got the laser AMS to protect from any long-range firepower. Again, that's great. It's the only energy weapon on the platform, so we don't have to worry about overheating. Yeah, our full alpha is only 24. So then the question is, where do we go from here? What do we have in the way of energy weapons anyway? Because we could do some really goofy shit and say, well, let's go with an EHAR large laser and just stick that in there. Or, you know, something along those lines. The thing is, what do we do with the extra half-ton of ammo? Do we have a bigger engine that we can put in it to make it a little bit faster? We do have a 275. And Jaegermech isn't exactly quick. Bokers, that is because we are using an XL engine. And when you use XL engines, it saves weight on the engine, but it puts these critical chunks in the torso as a compromise. So that way it's not just a straight weight savings. Otherwise, there would be no downside. Let's see. What else do we have in terms of support weapons? Because the tag basically has unlimited ammo, but we don't have another tag. Or not unlimited ammo, but unlimited range. Oh, we do. We do have a tag. What do you think, chat? Maybe stick a tag in there as well? Drop a little bit of armor? The only problem is, looking at the tag, it's only got 480 meters maximum range. So, in the range brackets we're probably going to be operating in, I don't really see us using the tag. Well, the thing is, Urs, you say keep the armor, but the trick about this is, we don't actually need to lose an entire half-ton of armor. We basically just need to take, like, 2 pips of armor, or something like that. It's like, we can do this. I can go, like, 1 off of each leg, and 1 off the rear torso. So we lose 3 pips of armor, and we can fit the tag. So it's not an actual full half-ton that we have to drop. But yeah, again, I'm kind of with Erst on this one, where I just don't see the tag. Like, again, we're gonna be operating at maximum range most of the time with this Jaegermech, so I don't see the tag really being super useful. But the question is, what do we do with that extra half-ton if we don't use the tag? Because if we max out the armor, we've got almost a full ton to play with. So the question is, what can we add? We could potentially add jump jets. Well, no, we can't, because we don't actually have any heavy jump jets. So never mind. We can't put those in. What else do we have? Do we have... We already used the autocannon FCS. There's not really a whole lot there. Could do the Beagle probe. Uh-oh. Well, if we're having stream problems, hold on, let me check my stuff. Again, we've been having some issues with Twitch today, so it's probably Twitch, but let me check my connection. Nah, unfortunately, I think it's just Twitch. On my end, I'm showing everything is good. We're getting good latency and everything, so I think Twitch is just having a problem. I mean, we could, we do the Beagle probe, put that in the torso. That little bit overweight, but again, we can drop a little bit of armor to accommodate that. I'm not against the idea of dropping a little armor. How much more do we need to drop? Just a bit. Just a bit. So we'll do this and this. There we go. Alright, what do we think about this fit? FCSs I would like to use, but I didn't see any autocannon FCSs in the store, and we don't have any autocannon FCSs currently. We only had one, and we put it on the Centurion for the LBX-10. So, I mean, this is going to give us long range with the glass rifle. It's going to give us long to medium range with the Ultra AC-5. It's going to give us the laser AMS for protection, especially against long range like catapults and stuff like that. Plus, we've got the Beagle probe to increase our visibility. So, I mean, to me, this is a good fit. It's got a lot of armor, so we can take damage if we have to. And the Ultra AC-5 doesn't... I mean, it has a minimum range, but it's not a terrible minimum range, so if the enemy does start to get close, we can still fight. Alright, so we're going to turn this into a sniper boat. It's going to cost us 115 grand in 6 days.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
So Mech Bay's got a lot of work to do. And here's my next question. If we're going to be putting him in a ballistics-heavy boat, because remember, right now, Gravel Lion was the pilot for the Panther when we had it stacked up with mortars, but now he's going to be taking over the Jaeger mech. So do we want to spend the 500k to respec Gravel Lion into a ballistics guy? That's fair, Bolo. Yeah, if the enemy gets in close enough to our minimum range to come into play, then we have bigger problems. Let's see. Because again, with Gravel Lion being what he is focused primarily on tactics. And with the Beagle probe, that's going to work to our advantage. Because he's already getting massive bonuses. So, again, it's not the end of the road. And we can still go ahead and pump the gunnery at some point. Yes, Bamboozle. And actually, I don't know if it was you, but somebody had pointed that out in the YouTube comments recently as well. I just don't typically do that because, I mean, yes, I can do it, but I'm not that exacting about the armor that I put on. Thankfully, BTA is pretty good about the balancing on the armor, whereas I know in the base game there was a lot of problems where it was like, technically you only need to drop 1 point of armor to make this thing not be overweight. But there's a lot less of that in BTA, thankfully. Yeah, and here's the other thing. Like, I don't mind respecking people, but again, tactics is still good. Especially with the probe that we put in the Jaeger mech. Like, it's long range, but he's gonna have a long scouting range anyway. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. The only thing is, I might have picked, if we were gonna do that, I might not have used sensor sweep for that. Because sensor sweep is good, but it's not gonna be super useful for a sniper, unfortunately. That's true. Plus 6 accuracy and minimum range, so that might not be a bad idea in the first place. Screw it. We'll go with what we got for now. It's not a big deal. At the end of the day, if we have problems, we can always adjust our strategy accordingly, as long as nobody dies.